with his bot lane, and Rusty Sniper was on that Draven, which first game in Div 2 to lock in Draven and absolutely dumpster your lane opponent into a closing out the game was incredibly, incredibly impressive. I imagine teams won't be blind picking Yuumi into them anymore, as they do appear to have theory crafted some answers, taken answers from last year when Yuumi was meta, and I believe the answers back then were Draven, Amumu as well. Stuff like Kalista Renata as well. Kalista's unfortunately too weak right now, but Draven and Mumu was what they took from last year's inspiration, and now they're playing it too. So Yumi's off the table as a blind pick. I can imagine we still see Zeri Milio bans though.
Alrighty, let's see what the ban phase is going to continue to look like as the Zeri, as expected, goes away. Like you're saying, the Maokai is something you do expect to see on that red side as well as a ban here. So it is an option for them. Looking towards that final ban for the first phase here over the Domino, they decide to take the Maokai away, actually deciding that they don't want to blind pick it. They don't want to make it their first priority. So they'd rather not do that and then have to give you over to Uniq. So Uniq now, maybe a little bit opened up more than they expected, are just going to take away that Melio, which is normally taken away by Domino or by the blue side. So pretty much standard bans across the board here. And the question is what are Domino going to look to try and prioritize here? The Aphelios is up and open.
Yeah, it is.
I feel like that's not a bad one here, but it does look they actually leaned in towards that Cassante as just kind of like a Stonewall top laner. They don't want to think about that. They just want to get that lane sorted for them.
Yeah. Red side, Felios lock in as well. Cassante, Spooder's a very good Cassante. They've locked it in because it's also a flex into the mid lane. So just standard first picks. The only two first picks there I could see were Vi or Cassante in my eyes. Now on the flip side, Uniq have insta-locked that Sejuani and the Aphelios. You can imagine, once again, they're going to be pairing off that Sejuani with more melees. So champions like Jax, maybe we see Jax into Cassante, because that matchup does get pretty good after a first item. It can be a little bit rough early, but two axes. I just realized yesterday his Draven was banned, and I'm so used to it because we banned his Draven when I played against him. So he's actually gotten it now. The second is open, he snapped it away.
Yeah, that's an instant pickup there. Question is, what are they going to pair with the support? Are they going to look for something kind of engage heavy, the likes of the Nautiluses, the Threshes, or are they going to go more Enchanter focused to also deny away from the Aphelios? Does look like the attention actually goes towards a more engaged kill lane, so they lock in that Nautilus here, and let's see what the answer is going to be from Uniq. Now, there's a couple of options. You can just go for that Lulu and play the kind of
I think it's Braum.
I think it's play the space by it, but yeah, like something like a Braum's fine here. I actually don't dislike what they're hovering. I know you're not meant to talk hovers, but the reason actually it's not a hover, it's a lock-in. The reason I like the Blitzcrank is Draven is a very telegraphed champion. Like, you know where he's going to be because you can see the mark on the ground where his axe is. So he has to walk there, which means Blitz can then easily line up a grab onto him. So it's very much now Snubby has to make sure that he's always positioned in a way between the axe and the Blitzcrank so his Draven doesn't get grabbed.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of it. I much prefer the Braum. It gives you insane level 3, like 3v3 as well, and it's just such a good answer into the Nautilus. Typically, Nautilus doesn't like being picked with the Braum open. Not the biggest fan in the world of it, but it does look like we're going to get the Blitz into that. I imagine now for champion bans, you're going to pinch out Jungle Pool. Unique's going to pinch out Jungle Pool. Maybe they ban away, I think Vi could be an answer to get onto the Aphelios instantly. Flexes are being banned out as well. Jace is sometimes picked with the Sejuani. You do go melee form in that, so it's pretty decent. But Flexes, again, Gragas might be targeted too. That's also a very good R4 because it's also a melee pick for the Sejuani. But again, I think it's either a Vi or a Wukong ban for the side of Uniq.
Let's see as they continue to go through those bans. Talked a lot about these junglers, and there it is. The Vi is going to be the ban away. So final ban for Domino. Now,
it's probably Silas.
Yeah, probably. I mean, you can also just take over the Scion if you're like scared about just having like a Stonewall versus Stonewall. But even then, I feel like Cassante's pretty comfortable there. Yeah, I think. Ooh. Oh, they go Cass. Okay, interesting. So denying that from Unicorn.
I think Silas here, synergy with the Sejuani, plus you steal away the Nautilus ult is pretty nice. On top of that, they banned out the Cassiopeia, which is one of Silas's biggest counters. So I quite like it. Maybe they don't opt for it. Maybe he doesn't play Silas. You know, he didn't have the best performance yesterday from memory. I think he got solo killed. So maybe he doesn't play. Yeah, okay, this is the same as... I think he might be a Victor main, you know? I haven't quite scouted Unicorn, but yesterday they also blind picked Victor and saved counterpick for top lane as well, from memory. So maybe they didn't counterpick top, but they definitely blind picked Victor. So very interesting. You can pair off control mages with Sejuani. I just like abusing the fact that she enables melees really well.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, seeing what Domino are going to lock in as their last champion, I would love to see a Kiana, but I mean, just not going to happen. Lee Sin actually locked in for Shackle. That is a Shackle champion, if ever I've seen one. He does play a lot of that. So now looking towards their final pickup here for the mid lane. Just kind of running my brain through like mid laners that are open. Could just go for something like the Syndra if you just want to kind of play that wave clear duty. A lot of pick potential, but actually they lock in the Silas. I like this because this now denies Ukko from taking that Silas himself and playing it in that top lane as a potential matchup. I don't know why I said it like that, because I realized they want Silas mid and they've got the Victor.
Yeah.
Having a brain fart, looking towards their final pickup, the Poppy.
Yeah, and taking Poppy into the Cassante is actually a decent matchup, right? We saw yesterday Spuda was having a rough time as Cassante into Poppy. In the end, it was just Cassante getting forced out and recalled. Something I noticed during the fight was one of Poppy's biggest strengths is how small her hitbox is for a tank, right? It's still pretty big. She's actually pretty massive. But for a tank, she's very small, and that makes it easier to dodge all the Cassante Qs, right? Because she has a lot of move speed, and that's the way he trades in lane. So what we saw yesterday was just Poppy winning against Cassante, and I didn't think it would go that way. But still, the way the comps function, you lose Prio in the mid lane as Silas into Victor, so I assume maybe Lee Sin could do something with some invading shenanigans since you have Prio in the bot lane. But maybe that won't be the case. I think this is going to be a pretty volatile game. This does look pretty scary. Top lane's going to be irrelevant. It's going to be about the mid lane 2v2 and the bot lane 2v2 and how they interact.
Absolutely. Well, so I'm going to look over how this is all going to go. I'm very excited for this one. Again, I feel like other than the Draven, you haven't really got any like cheesy picks or like off meta picks. And Draven's not cheesy, especially on the likes of someone like 2X, obviously he is a Draven main and kind of gets it perma-banned versus them. Games like this, though, prove something. This is like a proving game. You need to prove that the Draven is scary enough to get permabanned versus you. Otherwise, suddenly the thing that like people would be wasting bans on you aren't actually going to be bannable anymore. So 2Xers need to pop off this game to prove to the whole league. But yeah, you only get 2 bans when you play us because you need to ban Draven. I will lock it in.
Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely a thing. If he loses here, people will be like, "Oh, there are answers. You know, we can handle it." And then that way they don't get an advantage in draft, especially when draft is so important right now. But I'm really excited to get into game. I'm really curious. I want to OPGG Uniq Corn. If this is the legit strategy they want, maybe they just want to play front to back with a control mage and a hyper carry in the bot lane with that Velios. Something I want to highlight in game, if we see it, is something that people don't talk about very often with the Blitzcrank and what its uses can be. It can actually be used ever since like season 12 where they tried to turn Blitzcrank into a jungler. He actually got a lot of damage into his kit where he does damage, like percentage health damage to monsters, right? That includes dragons. And what you can do is you can cross map with Blitzcrank, similar to how you would cross map with an Aphelios onto a tower with the right guns. You can just sit Blitzcrank on the dragon with your AD carry, and you kind of one-shot the dragon because you do so much percentage health damage to the dragons with your W and your E. So I wonder if we'll see that. Using Blitzcrank as a cross mapper onto dragons, not commonly talked about, nor is it done very often. So really curious to see they take advantage of it.
Well, we'll have to find out. We'll be getting into game. I'm curious I haven't asked you this yet, but like, who do you think won draft? It's a question I love to ask, and I don't think I've ever asked you this one, but like, who do you think won draft here?
I was wondering if they could get a better answer in the mid lane. If they got a different answer in the mid lane outside of the Silas and into the Victor, I think they would have won draft. Domino would have won draft. But overall, I think it's very close. I think it's actually very close and really hard to tell. But my vote would probably be Domino.
Your vote's Domino. I know.
Very slightly.
I'm confident in Uniq. You know, they've got this Draven. The Nautilus Draven, you can take over that lane. Obviously, it kind of comes down to how Domino position in that lane, where their jungler is. You know, if they start with a top-down clear towards bot side, then suddenly around that level 3, level 4 mark, there's going to be a jungler in the area, and suddenly you could be outnumbered, and it could get a bit spicy. It could get a little hairy for them. So I think that's kind of like what we got to keep our eyes on, especially in the early game, is just these jungle rotations, where they start, what their game plan is going forward, into these early few rotations around the map, because I think that would be the big difference maker. Like, realistically, I expect them both to kind of try and clear downwards, purely because you don't really want to be playing towards top. Like, it's a Poppy Cassante. There's just like 2 stone walls. No one's gonna have any kill pressure there without like mistakes being made or even forced. So I feel like you want to be playing towards a lane that is going to want to be snowballing, being that Draven.
Yeah, something to highlight is if Silas does get ahead of the Victor, which he shouldn't early at the very least. If Silas does get ahead of the Victor, then moving Silas mid jungle 2v2 into bot lane as well on dives, on slow pushes with that Draven Nautilus is going to be extremely potent. So it's on Uniq Corn, that name, to really suppress the Silas and make it so they cannot play into bot side. I think that's going to be incredibly pivotal to the game.
It's the fact with Uniq Corn that his name isn't the team name. He's actually Uniq Corn, and then he's on Uniq. So, like you're saying to me, it's Uniq Corn.
I love it.
It's a mouthful.
Really
it's going to be a mouthful to say. Yeah.
We need a team with Uniq Corn, Liam Cole, Poopy, and I think there's probably some other funny names at the other roles. We need that. We need it. We really do for next split.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to think who we got. Honestly, there's not too many. There's not too many names that are funny. I guess Spooder's quite good. I like Spooder.
I do like Spooder. One. It's a good name. Nilly, Garfield as well.
Am I right? Is Nilly, who used to go by Nilly Nally, or is that another player? Yes. So Nilly used to be Nilly Nally, so they could just reclaim their old name back, and then we got a top laner for our goofy name super team. It's purely supports. Supports. You take yourselves too seriously. Come on, come up with a stupid name. I know we got Poopy.
I think Garfield is good. Garfield. Oh yeah, Poopy.
Oh yeah.
I think supports are pretty funny.
I mean, it's like with Garfield, Liam Cole and Garfield. It sounds like a like an old, like early 19th century. Yeah, like early 19th century, like shipping company or like horse and carriage
Liam
company.
Cole and Garfield.
Garfield and Cole. Like it sounds like such a good like old timey like New England kind of East Coast America or like London 19th century shipping company.
Absolutely see that.
Giving you ideas. If League fails, McDonald's isn't the only option. You could open up a shipping company with your support and make your fortune that way. I've just had an update in my ear. Unfortunately, there has been client issues as we have had a lot of time to waffle across our last couple of days, our last couple of games. So we are just waiting for the client to reopen the game so then we can get into it. I believe one of the players was experiencing some problems on that front and then they had to redo it. But that gives us more time to waffle, and I'm running out of waffle. I was saying to Aragon earlier, actually, while we were in a break. It's quite funny because he's got an homage to Archer in the background of your screen. For anyone who doesn't know, Archer, our old host of the NLC, was also a voice actor back in Portugal, and he did a Bakugo in the My Hero Academia Portuguese dub.
Oh, I can't point.
You have absolutely no depth perception on that. There you go.
It's so hard because the camera's flipped, right? So I was using the wrong arm. That one. There you go.
He told me that he did like an entire series in like
Portuguese voice acting.
Yeah, Portuguese voice acting as well. And like, if you've watched NLC last year, you'll know that guy doesn't hold back. He goes hard, and I think he did like multiple characters, and I think he did like a lot of it in like a week. Like he said he just couldn't speak after he absolutely ruined his voice because he was like, if anyone here actually has watched My Academia, the character yells a lot and. It's now yelling in Portuguese. It's Archerov as well. So that guy who already just is incredibly loud and like excitable as a person. It just sounds like a recipe for like getting him to do 14 voices in a week. Just sounds like a recipe for disaster, man. Like the guy, I don't know how he does it. He's an animal. I miss him.
Yeah, workhorse. No, he was really good last year. He carried a lot of the show. He was really solid. Shame.
Oh, bless him. I met him. 2015, I believe. Long time ago.
Wow.
Over in Portugal, actually. Back with the Newell, who... Have the Newell broken up or have they got new ownership? I can't remember what one it is. It's one of the two. I think it's new ownership. I think they got taken over by the other... That's it. Thank you, producer in my ear. GG Tech have taken over the Newell. For anyone who is one of our non-UK viewers... the Newell is our UK scene for our university esports. A lot of players like Kerberos came through there. So did
I did. Hey, hello.
Oh, you were a Newell player, were you? I think I casted the Newell.
You know, me and my band of D4 brothers, we came third somehow, which was unbelievable, by the way, because everyone else had like Master Tier Plus like players everywhere. I don't know how we managed to pull that off.
Bro,
but yeah, band of D4 brothers, we came third.
I had I before I kind of got start casting and I had to like run my own tournament, which at the time I worked for Game, who are obviously a game seller in the UK. Yeah, I worked for them for 5 years, and I was told by Game that they would give us Insomnia tickets because this is just after they bought Multi. Oh God, what was their name? The company that used to own Insomnia. So they bought Insomnia. They were like, oh, we'll give you free tickets if you're running a tournament and you can just run it through Game. And I was like, sweet. Game basically completely screwed me over and bailed on it. I'll talk about that beef in another place. But what ended up happening was I had to self-run a tournament. And by the time I worked in retail. So I was working I had like a 20-hour contract in retail. So I only earned like a couple £100 a month. I did not have much money. So I had to put like £100 in as the prize pool. And that was it. It was a £100 prize pool to between 5 players. It was all mostly just like sorry uni guys, so they were quite happy to do it. But I had a group of friends who entered the tournament, and they're all like silver. They were like, I think one of them might have been bronze at the time.
We entered as well.
Oh, not that tournament.
Maybe not. Maybe not. It might have been really far back.
I would have remembered if you were on that tournament. That was exclusively a Guildford area tournament. But I remember like all my friends were pretty trash, and there were a few other silver and kind of low platinum teams as well. But there were a few of the uni students who were actually quite good at the game. And what ended up happening was I kind of had to like fill roles because people would sign up with their mates, and there'd only be like 3 of them, so I'd have to find like a support or a top laner or something for them to kind of fill out the team. What ended up happening was my friend of fours got the only person who entered on their own, who was like a D4 top laner, and his poor D4 guy had to drag a bunch of silver and bronze players through the tournament. They did not do well. They did not do well at all, bless them. But I felt so sorry for this poor guy. Yeah, whoever you were, I can't remember your name, funnily enough. It was a long time ago. It would have been like 2014. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I entered you in that tournament and forced you to play with a bunch of bad players.
With your band LeBlanc.
I was casting it. I wasn't playing.
Of course.
So I set it up to cast, and it was my friends who were entering the tournament. Nah, if I played LeBlanc, we would have won. I was not a LeBlanc man at that point.
Confidence. The absolute confidence. I think I was probably bronze 5 at that point. I started bronze 5. I was placed initially in bronze 1, and I dropped to bronze 5.
Oh my word.
I was incredibly bad at the game. I played through every elo.
How do you get better? That's like how did you get as a question if someone's just been perma-stuck gold their entire life? Like, how do you get better? What did you do?
I have no idea. I played Rengar top. I was a complete degenerate. I played Rengar top to diamond, and it just completely carried me. I got to diamond. I was completely clueless. I didn't know what I was doing. I stopped being able to just kill people level 2, and I stopped climbing. And then I got hard stuck D4 for about 5 seasons. For 5 seasons, I was diamond because I played Rengar to it.
Man, I don't know, dude. I feel like this might explain a lot about your esports career. You basically just got elo inflated into a high elo. Yeah. Is that what happened?
With Rengar top. It was beautiful.
Hey,
oh, we're in game.
We're in game. Wait, it's level 3.
They're level 3. What's happened? Okay, nothing's happened. 14 CS to 21. Lanes are going as expected. Even top. Mid lane is slightly losing as expected because its Victor is a massive lane bully and Silas is melee. Unless we see some mid lane action, Silas won't be able to have any agency. Bot lane is fairly even CS with the push for Draven. As we said, it's pretty much automatic prior in that lane unless a dream hook lands, but even then you lose. Looks like Jungler's path down to bot side with Sejuani looking for something whilst Lee Sin full cleared and is now targeting the Krugs. Shackle making plays down to bot side like we expected. Everything going about as normal. Little recap from level 1.
Thank you for that, Aragon. And I'm also glad that nothing deviated from the plan. There was no like coin flip invade at level 1 or anything like that. NLC Platz. Nobody believes his opponent doesn't enjoy the game, then he has to succeed. Wait, if
then he has succeeded.
Oh, same, homie. Same. Like,
make them miserable.
I will play the most like degenerate stuff with my. Oh,
Snubby!
There's no way that interaction happened.
Poopy's not having fun. He's winning.
Oh, that is so tragic. That is a bonk. I've never seen that.
I haven't seen it that far. Actually, no, I tell a lie. When I've seen a Nautilus hook a wall after getting Poppy ulted, and then mid-Poppy flying away, he hooks back down, right? I think a lot of people have seen that one.
I've actually never seen that one. The infinite hook.
Yeah, no, it's really beautiful. A really nice cancel. The confidence to know he can block the hook for 2 axes and then hook back down. Entire little micro interaction. Probably not impressive to a lot of pro players, but still, for us it is good. Especially we don't play support. Ooh, nice trade.
Silas is healthy. That was a lot of healing. I mean, lovely trade out by Unicorn on the way out. Unfortunately for Unicorn, though, he is pretty much out of mana at this point. So does have that teleport, but isn't looking to reset quite yet. Clover hits level 6, which is scary for Unicorn because now suddenly the Chaos Storm can get used on him. Interesting thing about, obviously, the mid lane, and something we haven't really talked about with the changes to the mid line items. Are we playing on that patch before I finish this point? We
Cheaper
are,
Lost
thank
Chapter.
God. Okay, yeah, of course, because people are building Stormrazor first. Of course, we're on the new patch. The big thing is the Lost Chapter, way cheaper. I've seen a few different kind of theories on laning for certain champions to actually turn the lane around, but like being able to buy Lost Chapters this much earlier than like before is so nice for these teams, for these mid laners, for these mages. You can kind of just stay in the wave. Like at this point, we saw Unicorn a minute ago. He was in danger purely because he was out of mana. Now he's just got basically infinite mana. The earlier you buy a Lost Chapter, the more value you get out of it.
Yeah, Lost Chapter is a pretty silly item, right? I also want to highlight top lane. Uko 2000 is really kind of struggling. And yesterday, he was getting a lot of hype because he managed to solo kill. But honestly, I don't think the way he solo killed was very replicable. He managed to kill a Gwen as Ornn, and I think he's going to die here. Spooder!
Spooder just finds the solo kill and first blood.
This is the hype we're talking about, right? Massive CS lead 1 versus 1. And honestly, I feel like this is self-inflicted, like missing CS, because Poppy is actually inherently pretty hard to farm with. But still, massive CS lead for Spooder. Managed to find the proactive level 6 and secure a kill. Really nice stuff. Uko isn't even going to TP. He's going to be down so much XP. I really think he should have TP'd there, because holding onto your TP, yes, you get it earlier on, but you need to be able to match this, because Hunter, yes, you won't miss that much farm, but it still matters. And this Cassante, I can imagine Spooder's going to 1v9 from here.
I actually think his TP was on cooldown. I think it's about to come off.
Oh, is it? Oh, the observer thing. I can't really tell.
It's really hard to tell, actually. That might just be the coloration on the top.
Okay,
no,
yeah, it does look like, yeah.
I can't tell. I actually can't tell.
No, at a glance, I think you're right. I think you're right. I miss Saw. But still, yeah, if no TP, then that's even more brutal, right? He didn't even have a choice. And now Spooder, using the lane bullying from Cassante to his advantage, finding all the CS in the tower, he's managed to accumulate a 30 CS lead in isolated 1v1. And like we said, really hyped up as a rookie. Very lane dominant in a lot of lanes last splits, would find solo kills. I think he had like 15 solo kills in the split. And it's just really impressive, right? And he's continuing at this split.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's been someone who's been kind of slowly but surely stepping up to the mantle as a regional top laner who people should take seriously. I'm excited to see how he fares like the likes of Shikari, where Shikari is just that kind of brick wall. And he's kind of that test, isn't he? If you can kind of match up to Shikari, then you should be good enough to kind of hold your own when you head out to, you know, the likes of the EMEA, if you can qualify for it. So you do have those kind of like local limit tests before you hit the kind of regional ones, because, you know, while Shikari is touted as one of the top laners in this scene, if you actually look at the EMEA scene in general, he's way down that list. So you have those kind of check marks, those benchmarks that you need to hit before you can kind of continue your climb upwards as an impressive top laner. Nonetheless, 40 CS lead and a solo kill, as we've said. Spooder very comfortably in control of his lane, but bot lane has somewhat been forfeited here as Woljo and Poopy hovering around, just making sure that this is a potential gank angle that could happen here. If they are going to step up onto Snubby. Snubby going to try and play Interrupt here. They do look for the lockdown onto him, and that's going to be easy as you like. The hook follows up as well, and Poopy forces the flash out from 2 axes. Woljo takes a tower shot, but with the exhaust, not enough damage to follow up. Yeah, that's just a really nice rotation there by Uniq. Uniq Corn even came down to make sure that rotation was safe to happen.
And it's just so frustrating because bot lane's so important at the moment. And they're just getting zoned wave after wave. You could tell they try to walk up to maybe get under the tower and survive a dive. But the reality is they were cross-mapping Herald. So this is just what had to happen. Fortunately, though, and what really would have been a game ender was if 2 axes died there and lost all of his stacks, it would have been, you know, a go FF. I've seen a lot of Draven mains say go FF14 after dying and losing the stacks, right? But no, reality is he didn't lose a stack, so there's still way more potential. Draven mains nowadays, it's completely fine if they go even in lane, right? This gets talked about a lot, but just to reiterate, it's okay if they go even in lane. As long as they pick up a kill along the way at some point, they can get like a 2k cash. It's completely fine. And often Draven lanes go even now with controlled lane phases. And then eventually in a team fight, because they made it so the ultimate actually deals damage equal to like your stacks. If the enemy's below your level of stacks, you can execute people a lot higher now. And that kind of secures the stat cash out too. So what I want to see is to make sure Domino do not let 2x's die and secure this cash out before he does.
Well, it looks like that's going to be the game plan here as they're stepping up to the plate, looking for a potential hook. Poopy misses the hook there. Axe gets himself the plates as they're actually bringing in the backup. That might just be the end. 2axes goes down. A 1-for-1 trade, but Snubby will be next up on the menu as Shackle's taking way too much damage. They try to go for the turnaround, the redirect as Clover locked in place, able to just about dodge away as Poopy almost going down to the tower. And Unicorn, he wasn't even needed for that whole fight.
And I guess this is why Uko is holding on to this TP for the 10-minute mark, because he turns his teleport into a flank down bot side, using that teleport water on your screen now, and that in turn turns into a play that secures him Burst Tower and Rusty Sniper with loads of plays. That plus 625 gold.
That's a 4-0 Aphelios.
Right, look at the CS diff top. Who cares? Because it's just a double tank top. Yes, he might be able to convert that, but
yeah,
that lack of teleport for Spuda now really, really biting him. And you can see that maybe I was wrong. Maybe he did need to hold it as walk to lane and save that teleport for the 10-minute mark, or maybe they need to be more cautious of a sub 14-minute teleport, which did come in the bus recently.
Yeah, that's really rough there for the side of Domino. Definitely not the outcome they wanted from that fight. Rusty Sniper 4-0. Well, 450 gold as well. Got the Storm Razor finished up. He's scary. I mean, he got 650 gold from that tower plate as well at the end. So, I mean, I don't know if our observer can, but if you can, could you press X so we can just see the gold difference? Thank you very much. There we are. 6,000.
Oh, my lord.
That is not fair. That is not fair, man.
Gosh. And that's brutal because Draven lost his, his stacks because he died because of that TP flank. That TP had so much value.
Oh, no.
I think Shackle's just dead.
Okay, well, that gold lead just grew a little bit more.
Wait, what happened to Uniq? I completely dismissed them when I saw their roster. Rusty Sniper is really, of course they're playing through it, but still, Rusty Sniper is really popping off, going extremely fed in every single game. Yesterday he took the Draven himself and popped off. Now he's 5-0 and it might be another fight.
Yep. Oh, lovely little escape there by Snubby. Teleport actually coming in as it's just going to be the Victor joining back up. Looks like the attention will turn here for Uniq towards that Rift Herald. With Rift Herald wings and called a dragon. Going to go for that. Doesn't really feel like Domino can go for any contest here at all. And the question is what did Domino do? Maybe go for a cross map on the top side, but Ukko can block the dash from the hook with that steadfast presence. And as long as he plays this smart, he's still got a tower. He should be feeling relatively comfortable.
And I just don't like the decision from Shackle to cross-map that, like, way earlier on, cross-mapping the Rift Herald instead of protecting your bot side. And yes, Ukko might even die here, but at this point, the damage is done, right? I mean, you're accelerating a Cassante.
You gotta land the hooks, bro. you got
on the stun target? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little unlucky. As Rusty Sniper, very close to taking this next tower. I don't believe he's going to be able to take it with plates, unfortunately, for him. But he's already got enough gold. He got a couple of plates there as well.
You know, I think he might. T-Axis can't walk up here, and he doesn't have any backup, so yeah, it's... Oh, they're respecting. Look at the teleport behind, the flank, onto the ward by the blue buff. Cassante is there.
Ooh, Rusty Sniper trying to position perfectly here. He's got himself the kill guns. Caught by the hook, caught by the CC. Shut down for 2axes off the back of that one. The lockdown onto Spuda as Woljo falls apart as well. 2 members fall as Uniq getting collapsed on in brutal fashion. May just lose their tower for this.
And we're seeing the effect of the mismatched teleports come, like, shining through with the top lane. I think the hooks landed. Poopy might be dead.
On. The lockdown, the Chaos Storm's pretty big. Snubby does go down as Poopy does fall. Shackle's low. Clover now trying to see if he can get the damage into Unicorn. He's about to get his combo back up as well. As in comes Ukko on that flank, looking for some revenge for a rough laning phase. Unable to make that in time. But Unicorn, they lose a couple of players, but they will be able to answer back with a mid lane turret. The Swirling Death wasn't quite enough to clear out the wave, and Uniq take the mid tower.
Really, really like interesting set of events. I think they bit off a little bit more than they could chew there, Domino. But really nice teleport flank from Spooder, managing to finally convert his lead from a self-isolated 1 versus 1 lead, and plus turrets and being played for, to finally being able to turn it into a teamfight flank and getting that shutdown for 2 axes. That was crucial because you just know this game looked really doomed in their eyes until they managed to get some gold in the 2 axes because he was essentially useless. Gonna complete that Ghost Blade. Really surprising, honestly, that he doesn't complete Triforce or build Triforce because there's been a lot of talk in the community about how AD carries should just build Triforce on everyone. Most champs anyway. But still, complete that Ghost Blade, and now with that massive injection of gold, we can hopefully see them contest this next dragon. Dragon does spawn in 2 minutes 30. You can see on the top left of your screen. And potentially, with this disruption from Cassante in these front-to-back team fights, maybe he can isolate Rusty Sniper because that's what Cassante is really good at doing, disrupting and isolating carries. And then, based on that, they can win the fight because, let's be real, Rusty Sniper has all the gold.
Yeah, I mean, he's monstrously fed. Nice shutdown, obviously, for 2 axes means he does get the Ghost Blade for himself. So he does get at least something in response. But Uniq, he got himself that Rift Herald. And with an item and a half onto Rusty Sniper already, this game is looking pretty scary. It's the same level as 2 axes, I guess, which is a silver lining that I will find for them. And honestly, Ukko, even though he's got 2 deaths, I think he's quite content holding side lane. I say that as he almost finds Clover, getting him the kill, the steadfast presence. Oh, that was brutal.
This Ukko, okay, so I'm so confused because I watch his laning, I watch his gameplay, and he just doesn't look the best. Like, no shade to him, that's just the analysis I see. He'll fail to hold freezes, he'll do something very silly, but then all of a sudden he just whips out a random solo kill, and I can't fathom how this keeps happening. The guy is just incredible at solo killing, I guess. Really, really impressive. It does look like he stopped the dashes from the Silas. Clover probably thought that his jungler was closer and they had time. But yeah, no. Ukko was just putting in a shift.
That was honestly what was so cool about that is because Silas is his heal is a dash, his W is a dash. So the steadfast presence stopped both the initial E dash and then the W dash that followed as well. So and that then cancelled the W. So Clover didn't get the heal from it, from the Kingslayer. That's the name of it. And that was all she wrote. Like, okay, steadfast presence is just such a powerful tool to shut down a champion like Silas, who effectively has 3 dashes in his kit if you count both charges of the E.
It's just like the kill shouldn't be possible, right? Because it's not like Poppy can one rotation like one-shot you. So it must have been multiple rotations and Silas Clover just disrespecting the potential all-in and the lack of disengage. Look at the mid lane though. The Rift Herald's been placed down. They all have to, you can't cross-map this. You have to respond to Rift Heralds. You cannot be proactive into Rift Heralds because they will always get the better of the cross-map because they have a Rift Herald to back up the siege. So yes, Spooder is going to try and hit this tier 2 turret, but Cassante is notorious for not being able to actually take turret that quickly. He has a Demolish proc and some auto resets in All Out. But the reality is, this is going to be a really favorable trade for Uniq, and it potentially converts even into a dragon.
Yeah, actually, Rusty Sniper's got the Graviton up. If he gets a good Moonlight Vigil off here, this could be a rough fight to follow. Not going to go for it. Teleport is available on Spooder. Takes himself to tier 2 in the top side in response, and it looks like, with the fact that Clover got chunked earlier by Uniq Corn, there is no avenue for Domino to fight.
I think Domino both have TP and they're pinging wards behind. Like, the Uniq know that they could potentially be flanked, but it does look like, it's not going to happen. I saw a potential angle, but they were too scared to approach as the 3-man in case of being turned around onto, you know?
I think
Draven.
Rusty Sniper's also off a recall now because he's 2 items in. So I feel that they're like, all right, Draven's not actually as strong. Rusty Sniper's incredibly fed. And the rest of his team are still healthy enough to be able to kind of basically secure him the space to win the fight.
Yeah, and it wasn't 3rd dragon either, right? It was 2nd dragon, so maybe they're saying, a little bit more time, close the gap in terms of items. Draven just completed his collector as well, which did get buffed to 18 lethality, so it's significantly stronger now. And we're going to fight the 3rd dragon because that is Soul Point, and that you have to contest that. And Spooder is potentially going to try in this next, this next 4 minutes to complete a stone plate to be the biggest wall possible.
Alrighty, well, 20 minutes on the clock. Baron spawning up fairly soon. And genuinely, Domino right now, they have to be very careful that a Baron could come down. Like, that's a 2.5 item Aphelios. It's a Chemtech soul map as well. While Chemtech Drake is, touted as one of the lesser Drakes that people really don't like getting, the honey fruit healing and the sustain that it does actually afford for them is
Actually true, yeah.
Is something you don't have to snare at. You can damage test the Baron, heal up fairly effectively, and then not have to worry about going for the reset. Rusty Sniper might be in danger. They're going in for the kick. Flash onto him. They use all of the lockdown, and he is popped. 2axis finds the kill. Shackle with the flank angle. Absolutely flawlessly played. 2axis finds 2 kills. Azuko buys the space. That could just be Baron.
Yeah, and I wasn't even noticing Shackle in the background. I guess Uniq didn't either. He must have pathed all the way around. We saw him walk past Red Buff, but little did we know that the entire time he was looking for a long con flank angle onto Rusty Sniper. The silence from Clover stealing that Blitzcrank ulti, denying the flash away from Rusty Sniper. And in the end, he just gets one shot. This is the only way that he can die is with these long con flank angles if he has someone behind him. So, honestly, it's kind of on the vision control or from Uniq around topside.
That was such a
loud
mess up.
flank.
Honestly, such a mess up, but he was able to get into the Raptor pit. Like,
yeah,
that shouldn't have been a possibility at all, but it just was.
Yeah, especially since it was Baron up as the neutral objective. You want topside vision around it, right? And it's the only way that you can get flanked. Regardless, he's still incredibly fed, right? This is an incredible injection of gold and potential towards Domino, because now they can siege maybe 4-1 mid bot lane. Play for that bot lane inner turret and that mid push at the same time. 2axis just going to push out the mid wave. Not going to sync waves. Going to actually get a recall real quick here. Probably just the last reset before Dragon. Play for that bot lane turret and then rotate to Dragon, I imagine.
Yeah, the question is are Domino going to be able to actually go for the Dragon? I still feel like Uniq are very strong right now. In fact, Unicorn himself has picked up a shutdown just from how far ahead he's pulled over Clover. Has got that Zonya's Hourglass and the Leandry's finished up. They are actually matching on items, but I mean, it's just the kind of inherent gold that he's got in his kit. So with the Dragon spawning up in a 2 minutes time, Uniq could look to try and turn their attention towards that, see if they can just get Rusty onto his 3rd item for that Dragon fight. I don't think he's going to have enough time to get the gold put together for it, though.
Yeah, does look like they're playing for the flank instead on Clover. He just played for bot lane tower, as we said, and now with those Baron minions, they're going to automatically get prio in the mid lane, which will convert into the Dragon. Essentially how you play when you're winning to secure neutral objectives. If you keep, for example, if it's Dragon, you keep bot and mid pushed on repeat, and you never let the enemy move forward so that they can never get vision and never feel comfortable face checking when Dragon does spawn. And that's what it looks like Domino are actually going to keep doing. Keep pushing them in, keep not getting flanked, just let them stay under the tower, and eventually you rotate down to Dragon.
A massive wave in the top side as well, which somebody on the side of Uniq probably wants to go collect.
Ooh.
Does look like Domino actually rotating their whole team up towards it, seeing how big that wave is. Unicorn should be able to get there and just one-shot the wave on Victor before it even gets remotely close to getting Baroned up, but this does mean he's going to show on the other side of the map, and that now gives Domino room to move down towards the bottom side. They do have teleport on him, so he can join in if he needs to. But this is a rough set of play here. They do find an opening onto Snubby. He's popped, and Uniq find their opening.
And that's Dragon. He got pulled over the wall. Poopy walked backwards as he hooked or something, because he didn't actually get pulled in front of it. I don't know if that's an observer bug or maybe the angle that we just couldn't see, because it didn't look like that would happen. And Snubby can't respond. All game long, he's been using the micro interaction of hooking a wall, but it's just over from fog. So, oh, it does look at Spooder. Look at the TP down top side. So he's going to try and cross map instead. And I don't know if I like this, because he doesn't have time to take the tower. It's kind of useless. I won't lie. They're going to get Dragon no matter what. Actually, Spooder's going to have to leave.
They might be quite happy to forfeit it and kill Spooder here. He's in danger. Ukko's got the steadfast presence on. The gravity well pins him in place. And Unicorn has teleport, so he's actually okay to commit time here.
So I guess Snobby actually, it bought enough time for Snobby to spawn. But yeah, no, Spooder's never under any threat there. I'm pretty sure Victor runs out of mana before killing Cassante there. He's so tanky. But now, look at Spooder's flank angle.
Yep, teleport's coming in. They're looking to join it into the fight. Unicorn has to go the long way around. Has got that blast cone to get over the wall. Dragon's going to get reset here. Go for the full reset as well, as Snubby finds himself inside the pit, maybe a little bit isolated away from his team, as it's really on Rusty Sniper to position well here. He can't get himself flanked once again. Ultimate on to Clover is that silence from the Blitzcrank as well, so Another opportunity potentially to deny Sniper. He's got himself the flash. He's got himself the cleanse. Poopy gets himself hooked over the wall. Has to pop that stopwatch immediately. Gravity Well goes down. The fight's going to get broken up. Clover's able to dodge away for the moment. Rusty Sniper throws down the Moonlight Vigil. Doesn't actually connect onto anybody for the moment, but he's getting jumped onto. Got the Ghost Pop. They're all going to peel backwards to make sure Sniper's able to stay alive. Dodging away on the hooks. Dodging away on all the damage, but that's a double kill for the Lee Sin. That's the tiny up for Domino. Akko, the only one standing, and he has no opportunity to get away. How did that fight go so wrong so fast for Uniq?
And it's just Spooder being an absolute brick wall. Snabby getting picked off inside the Dragon Pit, but he has Stopwatch to bring people in. And the Spooder managed to buy enough time running into them that they just can't burn through him, right? As the Gargoyle Stone Plate now. And in the end, you could see that there was just no opening for Uniq. Because what would happen, a little micro interaction, Spooder was just standing in front of his carries, ready to immune CC in case Poopy ever casted his hook. So in the end, Poopy just could never hook. And when that happens, you don't have a support, right? You're playing 4v5 essentially. And yeah, just well played for Spooder, having the mental awareness to just stand in front of his carries and be ready on that hook, because he's the only one that can tank it.
That is there's a bit of a rough fight there for the side of Uniq, and it felt like the game was very much in their control. But I think the major thing as well was Akko missed his ultimate on to Clover. Clover sidestepped the bot back, and at that point, they hadn't got the man advantage. The ultimate had been wasted by Akko, and Rusty Sniper, he had to burn both summoner spells and still wasn't able to step away from Domino.
We're also seeing a frontline difference now, right? An absolute frontline difference, because Akko is just so far behind Spooder. Spooder is so incredibly fed in terms of this 1 versus 1 and now 5 versus 5. I don't think that ever lands, right? Because he can always W to immune CC, but I imagine what we're going to see now is playing for the bot and mid lane tier 2 turrets. But still, if Baron is next, I think they could also play for the turn on the Baron. But we'll have to see what Domino opt for here.
Honestly, I think regardless, 2Axis has proven his point. Like, he lost lane.
Yeah.
And he's now 4-2. Like, this guy is scary strong. The lethality build as well. Something we have had a bit of a rise on since the changes to the items. He's scary. That's a scary Draven.
Yeah. The problem I have with that statement is that I don't know if he did this and it was this replicable, you know? I'm worried that the fact that he fell behind and he lost all his stacks early is something that could happen consistently if you play towards him.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
The way he came back in the game was his top laner is just demolishing and managed to find his TP flank to get him a shutdown. I don't think that's very replicable, and I think you need to be able to play around getting stacks better. Nice reaction there.
Oh, they're coming in. Rusty Sniper's got himself caught out by the knock-up from the lockdown. Whirling Death comes through, does a fair amount of damage. They force the teleport out, and that is going to be enough for the side of Uniq to step away. Clover teleporting in, see if he can get into that fight after Uniq had kind of run away. It was a little bit of a mess there, but Uniq, with that, maybe feeling comfortable to step up with the Whirling Death and the Depth Charge burn, and the fact that it is the Kentek Soul. They're basically back to full HP at this point. There's a good hook, may make the difference. That's the good hook. Not going to be onto the right target. Instant ward hop over the wall.
Yeah, and this is exactly what we're seeing. This is why K'Sante is such a good frontline at the moment, and why he's so pick ban is because he has the unique ability, and we highlighted in this tab select, to be able to isolate the frontline from the backline, right? He knocks away the enemy frontline away from Rusty Sniper and separates the two of them. That forces the fight, and everyone just has to retreat. Domino being routed into the river. Don't think a fight's going to happen. Look, there's a massive way down bot side. You can see they're pinging it, and it has to be answered. Uniq know that, and you can see top side is also the same. So I imagine we're just going to get a stalemate and two teams recalling. I mean, unless they go for the... They
Uniq have a very
gun.
quick Baron. They've got the
This
Jack
could be a
on
Baron
Sniper.
white gun.
Oh, Poopy, if he can find himself an opening. The problem is the vision is just not in Unique's control. They do not have any vision on the pit, so I think it's way too risky. They're going to step away.
Yeah. Yeah, but he ran out of white gun as well. They're waiting for a potential face check because they can see that Clover is bot side with TP granted, but the fight would be over by the time he TP'd, right? So a hook here or something. They're just going to walk forward and opt for mid priority instead. We're just seeing a dance, right? And it's just not ending. Important to note is that they've run out of wards. Support really needs to recall at some point to get some more wards, and I think that's what they're going to opt to do now.
Yeah, I think this is going to be the time for the side of Uniq to back off after this. It was a very tense couple of moments there where I thought maybe someone's going to coin flip on the Baron, but they do both decide not going to be the best course of action. Void Staff now finished up onto Unicorn as well. Zeal finished up onto Rusty Sniper. So just adding a little bit more to his damage portfolio, as it does look like Unicorn should be able to one-shot the wave and make sure that tower stands for a little longer.
Yeah, it does look like it's going to be a dance, right? So it's third Dragon. It looks like you could see pings coming down on Dragon and Baron. So it might be a dance of, oh, you go for third Dragon, we go for Baron, right? And we decide the game's going to end before fourth Dragon even comes. So you can see that Domino opting for the Baron side of things and threatening that rush. Dragon might not even get taken here. It might be a big all-out bloodbath in the mid lane.
Let's see if it's Snubby trying to see if he can come forward. Poopy trying to line up that shot. If they can take out that ward, they'll have a little bit more comfortability to kind of fish for those hooks over the wall. Finally able to take that down. They have started. They haven't really got the best guns on Rusty Sniper, but they're feeling comfortable to at least try and use it as a bait opportunity.
Spuda needs to walk in.
Teleport's coming out. They get themselves a hook onto Snubby. Rusty Sniper needs to avoid getting himself isolated by either Spuda or Snubby. Flank coming in, though. And
look at
they are
Shackle.
just grouping around. Shackle with that flank. Can he find the kick in? Onto the right target. He misses onto Rusty Sniper, who's stunned, who's knocked away. Flashburn got the ghost on. He's trying to get some damage off. Able to finish up Snubby. They trade out 2 for 2 so far as he holds his life for just a little bit longer. Spooder's able to finish him up. Spooder takes another double kill for him. And there's only one left for Uniq. Domino with another dominating team fight. And it's because of Shackle on the flank yet again.
Yeah, with these beautiful Lee Sin flanks. Unfortunately, he doesn't kick the right target. If he kicked Rusty Sniper there, that was probably the game, right? Because the instant he dies, there's just no more AoE because he had Blue Gun. And now, I don't think the game is going to end, although it might. They might be able to just ignore Waldo. He's level 13, but decide, you know what, guys? We're going to opt for the safer route. We're going to go for this Chemtech stop. We're going to recall, get some tempo back on the map, secure that Dragon Vision, and just play it out standardly. This game is way too close.
I do feel like this game has come down to the major difference is Unique's ability to set up control. They are not willing to break from their death ball at any point. They are hoping that Poopy just gets a random snap opportunity to land a hook on a key target, and the 5 of them can just burst out whoever they hook. And the cost of that is they don't have vision control. They don't really know where anyone is. And 2 times in a row now, Shackle has had an amazing flank. And like you said, didn't kick the right target, but he still got the knock-up part of the kick onto Rusty Sniper. Then it gave space for Spuda to pop that ultimate and isolate Rusty Sniper, who this time doesn't have the ghost, doesn't have the teleport. They're actually looking to try and see if they can do this Baron, but Sniper's not got the right guns. This is going to be quite slow. Pop coming in from the ultimate's going to separate away. Spuda trying to charge in. Baron's been secured. They actually didn't even have to go for the smite for it. It's Clover 7 coming in on the flank, trying to finish up onto that tank in time. Spuda launches onto the back line. Clover's on a killing spree. Down goes Rusty Sniper. The carries are dead. The opportunities are fading as Uniq are getting teleported into the base. They only have Woljo once again. It's an absolute fumble of a fight. And somehow, Woljo has to hold versus all of the team for 20 seconds. I don't think he's got enough fuel in the tank. He's got the Baron minions to try and help clear through for the moment. He's doing an okay job. Gets a lot of damage off on the Spuda, but there's the lockdown. There's the follow-up, and down he goes. Ace secured. Game should be quick to end as well off the back of that. Although they don't have a minion wave quite yet, and Sniper's up in 7 seconds. Maybe he can come in. Maybe he can save the day, but I don't think that's going to be possible. Down goes the tower. Sniper's got the flamer. Goes out for the Infernum. Misses the shot. 1 shot, 2 shot. Can he finish up Clover? The Zonyas will be enough. Sniper can't save the day. Down goes Uniq.